Welcome to Journey to Misery, where I explain complicated comics, characters and concepts to the patient and perpetually perplexed Helena Hart. My name is Ken Shiak, and this is the last week of Daredevil. Are you sad?
Sort of, yeah.
You're gonna miss him?
I feel like it's become part of my weekly routine.
Yeah, it feels weird that next week I'm going to be covering a different superhero. I've been doing this for 5 weeks now. It feels like this is the podcast.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast about Daredevil.
I have considered that the next time we do a multi-character, I may split it up a bit.
Because you get too attached?
Not because I get too attached, it's just it becomes a bit too much like work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm thinking next time we'll do like here and there and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But we've got a massive episode this week. I expect to be oversized, but I can never quite tell.
What do you mean by oversized? Like an hour?
Well, no, because it's usually about an hour 15.
Okay, right.
And that's with 12 pages of notes.
How many is this?
17.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to say like hour 45, maybe.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay.
Because whatever it is, it'll get cut down in the editing process significantly as well.
Because of the silent deleting button.
Yes. So I won't know how long it is in the file until I've cut it up a bit.
Okay.
So before we get into the episode today, or I should say what today's episode is, it is the last Daredevil episode, as I said. We're going to be covering a run by Andy Diggle.
Diggle. Okay.
Well, you know in Arrow, there's the character called Diggle.
Yeah, I was named after him.
It's named after him because he wrote like the iconic Green Arrow origin.
Oh, right.
And he worked with 3 artists mainly, Roberto Della Torre, Marco Cicchetto and Billy Tan.
Okay.
And then most of the episode will focus on Mark Waid's run on Daredevil. We like Mark Waid over here.
We do.
And that features, among others, Marcos Martin, Paulo Rivera, Javier Rodriguez, but mostly it is become associated with an artist named Chris Samnee.
Okay.
So before we get on to that, we have just a few things to get through.
Do we?
Yep.
Normal things.
Normal things, just usual things. We have one Patreon supporter who gets a very special thank you.
Okay.
Last week when we recorded about like a week and a half ago, because we recorded last week's on like a Saturday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's been quite a while.
I thought it had been a while, but I didn't know if my week had just been weird.
Last week when we recorded, we were on $95.
Ah, yes.
And in the meantime, actually before last week's episode went up, thanks to Tyler Pollock, we reached the $100 mark on Patreon.
Oh no, now we have to watch it.
What does that mean?
We have to watch Howard the Duck.
We're going to watch Howard the Duck.
I can see it. It's like looking at me.
We are going to watch Howard the Duck for the first bonus episode of next week. So thank you, Tyler, for getting us there.
Oh, we're doing it next week.
Or next week's April.
Oh god,
I meant to say next month, but it still counts.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of the bonus episodes, we recently recorded our 3rd bonus episode.
We did.
About Forever Evil.
Yes.
Which I describe as the Nicolas Cage of comics.
It is. It really is. I'm standing by that.
And that is available to all $10 supporters on Patreon, as well as the previous 2 episodes.
Nice.
On April 1st, a .zip file of all of March episodes will be available to download for whatever you want to pay, whether it's $0 or whatever.
Take them for free. Why not?
Yeah, please take it for free. I encourage it. Right now, I know it won't be Bandcamp, but I don't know where it's going to be. I'm looking at Gumroad, most likely. This means nothing to you.
No, I know that Bandcamp's a thing, but I know you said you couldn't put it on Bandcamp for some reason.
Yeah, it needs high quality audio, and that's just too much work to convert the stuff we've already done.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay.
So we got an email from a Mr. Scott Robb.
Okay.
Quite a while ago, on the 16th of March.
Oh, you didn't tell me about this?
No.
That's like 3 weeks ago.
I did tell you about it.
Did you?
It wasn't like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, is this the one you told me about?
Yeah. It was less than 10 days ago.
But then you were like, no, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Yeah, because people listen for your action. So I apologise to Scott. Like I said, we recorded last week's.
Did you reply to him at least?
I didn't know.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, Scott. I hope you're still listening.
We love you, Scott.
Scott says, I just want to send a quick note letting you guys know how much I've been enjoying your podcast. Having a near full history of characters presented in this podcast is fantastic. Having the opportunity to relive some of my favourite character moments and some of their worst comic moments is priceless. You can often forget just how fucked up comics can get, and this presents it in a comical and convenient fashion. Keep up the good work.
Oh, good egg.
P.S. I don't use iTunes, hence the lack of review.
Oh, okay.
So thank you for that, Scott.
It's nice to know that the non-iTunes people are still getting this.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand how the thing works.
We also got 2 new iTunes reviews, speaking of iTunes.
Oh, okay.
The first one comes from someone going by the name Shakata.
Okay.
And they say with the title, the header, fall in love with comics again.
Oh,
5 stars.
That's nice.
This is a terrific podcast that has a great natural dynamic. Kieran does a great job informing Helena of the bizarre, wonderful nature of comics. Sometimes my heart breaks a little when Helena discovers an ill-advised storytelling decision, but usually I just recapture the sense of wonder I first had when discovering these stories. As an old fart, it's also nice to have my memory jogged by Kieran as he provides the backstory. So thank you for that, Shakata. Also, we have someone named Octopus Royalty
Good name.
with the title An Absolute Delight. 5 stars.
Nice.
I read a lot of comics. I learned to read with comics. I didn't think this show would be for me. And yet, here I am, eagerly awaiting new episodes. Kieran does amazing research into everything he talks about, thank you.
He doesn't do anything other than read.
Finding things I had completely forgotten existed. Helena has the perfect reactions to the most bizarre things about comic books. A well-placed, what? Or no! Or even a, stop killing women and children! reaction not only is hilarious, but also brings a new perspective to things that, honestly, I've become so used to after decades of burying myself in comic books. Great fun for the new comic reader or the long-time uber nerd. And then he says at the end in brackets, I also finally have something to link to someone when I get asked, hey, what's the deal with this character?
That's nice.
So thank you for that, Octopus Royalty.
Thank you.
And lastly, if this is your first show, I show Helena pictures of the characters that appear for the first time in this episode, or characters she might not remember from other episodes.
Which is often.
So if you go to kingimpulse.com, there's a link to the picture gallery, which are the same photos that Helena will be seeing in this episode.
Which I'm not allowed to see until the episode.
Yes.
The ones that are hidden away from me.
So, do you remember where we were last week? It was 10 days ago?
He's not in jail.
He's not in jail.
Oh yeah, he joined the hand.
He joined the hand. So Matt is now... He didn't just join the hand.
He's like the hand guy.
He's the leader.
He's the leader of the hand.
The shogun of the hand.
Shogun. Okay.
Because they're Japanese.
Oh yeah, okay. Forgot about that.
So Andy Diggle's run starts. In the heart of Hell's Kitchen, a rogue ninja murders some crooked cops and a judge, while Matt is undergoing his hand initiation. And this is toward the tail end of Norman Osborn's Dark Reign. Yeah. We've covered that a bit, with Hammer and all that. Yeah. And he has a list of people that he needs taking out, and the death of the cops gives him an excuse to go after Daredevil in the hand. Specifically, Osborn sends Hawkeye to take out Daredevil. But this isn't Clint Barton.
Okay.
Remember, Norman Osborn has his own version of supervillains dressed up like Avengers.
Oh yeah, okay.
So if you were going to replace Hawkeye with a supervillain, who would it be?
Someone with a bow.
Or someone with great aim.
Shit! Yeah, okay.
Who is it?
Bullseye.
It's Bullseye.
Palama Bay.
He sends Hawkeye to kill Daredevil, and in honour of the occasion, he gets kitted out in his classic Bullseye costume.
Yeah. I love him.
Bullseye leads a hammer strike team upon the hand's base, and as the ninjas and soldiers fight, Bullseye leads Daredevil away. Nearby, there's a tenement building scheduled for demolition to build some Oscorp condos, and the tenants are protesting by refusing to leave. Okay. Bullseye leads the fight there, and he tells Daredevil, imagine how many lives you could have saved if you killed me when you had the chance. And he presses a detonate button and blows up the building.
Were the people in it?
Killing 107 people.
Here we go. Here we go. Starting now.
As Matt realises just how much the game has changed with Osborn in charge, the ninja that killed the corrupt cops returns to her master, Wilson Fisk. She takes off her mask, and it's Lady Bullseye.
Ah, yes.
While Matt reflects on the loss of life he blames himself for, the hand demands a sacrifice.
Oh no.
Specifically Mr. Izo.
Oh.
Matt kills Izo in a ceremony by punching him in the heart.
This needs to not kill people.
And he's officially welcomed into the hand.
Because he murdered a man.
However, it was part of a plan to get Matt accepted, and along with Black Tarantula, they bring Mr. Izo back to life.
Oh yay, that's good.
And this is in secret, and they're going to try and work together to bring down the hand from the inside.
Yes.
Whereas Daredevil wants to use the hand as a force for good.
Yeah.
But if they can't, they're going to bring it down from the inside.
That makes sense.
He describes the hand as like a weapon, and like a weapon in itself isn't evil. It depends on who wields it.
Anything's a weapon in the hands are wrong.
So he uses his ninja army to bring the fight to Norman Osborn and his private kill squads that are roaming the streets of New York. Okay. Matt uses the hand's resources to buy the land where the building was blown up and orders construction to begin immediately on Shadowland, the hand's new base of operations.
Shadowland.
He then sends a ninja to the police department to tell them that Hell's Kitchen is now hand territory and all officers have 1 hour to abandon the precinct.
Ooh, okay.
As Hammer descend on Hell's Kitchen, Kingpin sends Lady Bullseye to join the fight as a hand member and kill as many Hammer police as possible. Because if Lady Bullseye is disguised as she's killing people, it'll look like the Hand were just slaughtering.
Yeah.
Because Daredevil has a no-kill policy.
Okay, right.
The next day, Hell's Kitchen is like just wrecked.
Right.
And Matt has all of the Hammer agents in like his own personal prison as he leaves for Japan to get support of the 5 Daimyo.
Yeah.
Daimyo? I don't know how to pronounce this, I apologise. They're basically like lieutenants.
Yeah.
They each represent a different area. So White Tiger is the North American Daimyo.
Oh, right, okay. I see what you mean.
And there's this cocky kid named Bakuto,
okay.
who is in charge of South America.
Nice.
Then there's 3 more who are like much older, like ancient dudes who represent Eurasia, Japan and Africa.
Okay.
And they seem to be working for their own interests. They're kind of looking past Matt
Yeah.
and being like looking for the integrity of the Hand in terms of the bigger picture. They plan to have Bakuto killed because he's young, he's brash, he's cocky, and he's a bit of a dick.
Fair enough.
Matt helps him fight off their attack, even though Bakuto hates that this Gaijin is in charge of the Hand.
Yeah.
As the other 3 Daimyo question what happened, White Tiger reveals herself to be working against Matt and with them.
Oh.
She kills Bakuto, but makes it look like a ritual suicide.
Oh, right,
You know,
okay.
seppuku.
Yeah.
Matt returns to America with a seemingly united Hand and appoints Black Tarantula as the guy in charge of South America.
Alright, cool.
And he returns to a completed Shadowland, which is this giant, like, ninja fortress
That's amazing.
in the middle of Hell's Kitchen. Meanwhile, the 3 ancient leaders are conspiring, and you find out that they're actually loyal to Snake Root,
Okay.
which is a splinter faction of the Hand. They call it the Left Hand Path.
Okay, right.
And it puts more faith in magic and worships a demon known as the Beast.
Oh, who's that?
It's just a demon known. It's not going to be revealed as someone else.
Oh, like it's not like a person.
No, it's a demon known as the Beast. You know, I've told you there are loads of demons and devils in Marvel that
Yeah.
could be Satan.
He's one of them.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, she. We don't know.
While Matt was in Japan, Norman Osborn was taken down during the siege event,
Yeah.
and the bad guys are going to jail. The heroes are running the show. While being transported to prison, Bullseye breaks out and heads to Hell's Kitchen to get his final revenge on Daredevil, and he finds the completed Shadowland.
It's good.
The Avengers are unnerved by Shadowland because it's this giant ninja fortress
Yeah.
in the middle of Manhattan. So they send Luke Cage and Iron Fist to talk to Matt and to tell him that at some point Shadowland is going to have to come down.
Yeah. It's a waste of money.
Because, well, not that really, because the Hand have like limitless resources.
Yeah, but still, like that took them time.
It's more the Avengers are worried that Matt's slipping
Yes, we're
because he's joined the Hand.
gonna become a bad egg.
Bullseye makes his way in and he announces his presence, just like shouting, begging for a fight, and comes face to face with Lord Daredevil.
Oh, he's cool.
It
Has he got like little pants on, or is that just part of his costume?
It's just part of his costume.
Okay.
It's like a black costume with more curved horns, stylized Daredevil logo. He's got something on his wrists, I don't quite know what.
Maybe they like flick out knives. Or
Yeah,
something.
I imagine so.
It's pretty cool.
And the Hand ninjas all have like Daredevil horns on them now.
So he's a ninja now.
Yeah.
He's
Well, he
like
was a ninja anyway.
Yeah, but like he's a legit ninja now. Nice.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist have shown up and they ask Matt if he needs any help. But he says, "Do you want to join the Hand?" No? Fuck off.
Okay, fair enough.
And he joins the fight against Bullseye. And he just ruthlessly breaks Bullseye's arm.
Oh,
Like he grabs his left arm and just goes, "Argh!" And he grabs his right arm and just goes, "Argh!"
that's nice.
And Bullseye panics, realising that this isn't the Daredevil he's used to.
No, like he's stepped up a notch.
Matt takes a sigh and drives it right through Bullseye,
Oh.
killing him.
Oh, okay. Is he actually dead this time?
He's actually dead this time.
So he doesn't come back. Oh, but it was great. I liked him.
The next night, Foggy and Dakota go to Shadowland to try and tell Matt that the Kingpin's up to something, but they get turned away and attacked by rogue Hand agents on the way home.
Okay.
Inside Shadowland, Matt is struggling mentally and he's kind of showing signs that he's not fully in control of his actions.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, Master Aizo has drafted in someone to infiltrate the Japanese base, the Hand's Japanese base,
Yeah.
Elektra.
Oh, she's back.
So, meanwhile, in Hell's Kitchen, it's under Hand rule and ninja rule, and they're just like arresting anyone that crosses them and taking them to like this gulag underneath
Yeah.
Shadowland. So Moon Knight,
Okay, right.
he like one because he's a guy. He's got like 3 separate personalities.
Yeah.
One of them is this, well, 4 including Moon. It's complicated. One of them is a taxi driver.
Okay.
So he just like takes a baseball bat to his cab
Right.
to attract the Hand ninjas and get arrested and kind of as a way to infiltrate Shadowland.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kingpin, meanwhile, has retrieved, well, with the help of Lady Bullseye,
Yeah.
he's retrieved a special scroll,
Okay.
like a Japanese ancient scroll,
Yeah.
and with it he can summon an ancient demon of vengeance, known to the Japanese as Zugaikotsu.
What's that?
Zugaikotsu.
Is that just a name?
Aizo and Elektra are in Japan, and they find that Snake Root is behind Matt's sudden downward spiral, and they overhear them order White Tiger to have Matt's friends killed.
Oh.
Dakota managed to fight off the Snake Root hand members with the help of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, who decide they need to go speak to Matt personally.
Yeah.
When Daredevil puts out the call that he wants more warriors to join him, Typhoid Mary answers it
Oh.
and joins up with the hand.
Okay.
And like Matt's wary, but he takes her in. Luke Cage and Iron Fist used that call for warriors to get an audience with him, and along with Spider-Man, Shang-Chi,
Okay.
the Master of Kung Fu,
Nice.
Misty Knight,
Nice.
Robot Arm,
Yeah, that's cool.
and Colleen Wing.
Who's she?
She's Misty Knight's partner.
Okay.
Like, the Heroes for Hire, traditionally Luke Cage and Iron Fist, but there's been many iterations of it, but like my classic Heroes for Hire is Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Misty Knight, and Colleen Wing.
Okay.
Misty Knight and Iron Fist are like off and again on again.
Alright. So like a thing.
Yeah. They try to tell him to turn back from the path he's on, but he doesn't want to listen to them. Down in the prison, Moon Knight breaks out of his cell, but before he has a chance to do anything, the Zugaikotsu shows up.
Okay.
And it's only bloody Ghost Rider,
Oh god.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Of course.
He starts tearing through the hand, making a ton of noise, and he wants to track down the man who summoned him,
Yeah.
which is the Kingpin, and he just races off. But Lord Daredevil assumes that whatever's going down below, this big bang and loads of fire and stuff, is part of the Heroes for Hire's plans,
Yeah.
so he attacks them.
Oh dear.
Moon Knight suits up and heads deeper into Shadowland as the Hand fight the heroes. Daredevil lifts his ban on killing and tells the ninjas to kill his former friends.
What? No.
Matt shows strange abilities in the fight, including jumping like 20 feet in the air, and it beats people up, like it beats up Shang-Chi, which he should never be able to do.
You can do weird stuff like you can in the film.
No, much more than that.
Oh, weirder than the film?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Like he jumps legit 20 feet in the air.
Shit. Okay.
As Typhoid Mary enters the fight, there's a sudden explosion in the side of the wall as the Punisher enters the fray.
Oh, cool. So he's there now.
Yeah, this is this big crossover. There was tons of issues like with Shadowland. There was like what I'm covering is the main Shadowland miniseries and the Daredevil issues.
Oh, right.
But there's also like Shadowland Moon Knight and Shadowland Ghost Rider and Shadowland this and Shadowland that. Like Shadowland Misty Knight, Shadowland Colleen Wing. They all had. You followed what they were doing when they weren't in the main book.
That makes sense.
So I'm not covering any of that really. That's why Moon Knight kind of goes missing in a second,
Yeah.
and Ghost Rider kind of goes missing for a while. It's because they went off to do their own thing in their own book.
Fair enough.
But Punisher shows up, and the heroes use that as a chance to retreat, and they come out to looting on the streets of Hell's Kitchen.
Ooh.
Lady Bullseye questions Kingpin about summoning the Ghost Rider and if it was a good idea, but Kingpin says that the summoning spell protects him from Ghost Rider's wrath. So if Ghost Rider wants to be free, he needs to take out the Hand's dark magic at the highest level.
Yeah. Seems like a
So,
good idea.
so it's a way for Kingpin to set Ghost Rider on Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil, still wanting better warriors, decides to use the Hand's resurrection magic
Yeah.
to bring back Bullseye. And Elektra shows up to join him as one of his warriors.
Nice.
As the heroes discuss strategy, Master Aizo shows up and tells them that Matt Murdock has been possessed by the Beast of the Hand
That makes sense.
and must die.
Oh. Oh no.
Foggy and Dakota are still being hunted by the Snake Root ninjas and are saved by Black Tarantula, who's beginning to question Matt's methods. Later that night, Foggy and Dakota get caught up in the looting and the riots, and White Tiger finds Black Tarantula, stabs him through the gut, and throws him off a building.
Oh. That's a good time, isn't it?
Inside Shadowland, Elektra is still working against Daredevil in secret, and she opens up a back passage for the hero team, which now Wolverine is a part of.
Just because?
Well, Wolverine has had dealings with the Hand in the past, so it makes sense that he'd be part of that group, but it's just,
It just seems really random.
he's just there all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just seems like he just showed up.
They interrupt the resurrection of Bullseye and kind of stop it from happening,
Yeah.
and Wolverine stabs Daredevil in the chest with all 6 claws, and has no effect.
Oh, cool.
They dogpile on him, but he throws himself off, and his limbs are like stretching to weird proportions
Oh, that's weird.
as he proclaims himself to no longer be Matt Murdock.
Okay, who's
He
he?
is the Beast. Ghost Rider arrives, but Lord Daredevil shrugs off his Hellfire breath and drains the Ghost Rider dry.
Okay.
Like he looks at him and just like breathes in and just like sucks all the fire from his head and just like drops him.
Well, that's all he is.
Foggy makes his way through the riots to Shadowland, and in order to save his best friend, he climbs the very walls of the fortress to get in.
Oh my god.
White Tiger catches him and takes him to Lord Daredevil, who has defeated all the other heroes, and says that he wants the honour of killing Foggy himself.
Oh no.
But when he sees his best friend in danger, it brings Matt out for just a second, giving Iron Fist the chance to strike the beast in the heart
Yeah.
with his Iron Fist.
So he is just possessed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Iron Fist is like, it's like a big chi strike.
Yeah.
So the chi heals Matt enough to take control of his body, and inside his mindscape, he cuts the beast out by kind of psychically committing seppuku,
Oh, okay.
and in the real world dies, freeing Hell's Kitchen from the grip of the beast.
So Matt's dead?
Yeah, because all the rioting and stuff was because of the beasts.
Yeah. But I assume he comes back.
Yeah, it's a 17-page episode. As the heroes get ready to help with the cleanup, Matt's body has disappeared.
Right. Where'd it go?
It's a bit unclear. I'm not sure if he's just okay or if Elektra brings him back. Like, there's a panel that shows Elektra holding his mask, but I'm not sure if that's supposed to indicate that she just found it, or if she helped get him away. I'm not quite sure.
So,
Billy Tan is a bad artist.
So they killed him off in his own comic and then didn't explain how he came back for further issues.
He came back in the same issue.
Okay, but still.
It's unclear. I think they tried to, but it's unclear. So, yeah, the Hand, now without a leader, turned to the Kingpin to lead them forward.
Okay.
And that was his plan all along.
Yeah, yeah.
And the comic ends with Matt Murdock in church giving confession.
As usual.
So, following the events of Shadowland, Matt wanders to New Mexico to escape his life as a hero and as Daredevil, feeling that he never accomplished anything of worth,
Oh, that's really sad.
except for getting his friends hurt.
Yeah, a lot of people died.
Despite his best efforts to stay out of heroics, he ends up getting involved in a corrupt police force operating in this small New Mexico town,
Maybe not the best idea.
and he saves its residents in the process and defeats a drug lord named Calavera, who the cops are looking for. Although Calavera possessed some mysterious telepathic abilities, which exploited Matt's previous phase of his past mistakes,
Yeah.
the ordeal leaves him more assured in himself, his ability, and reaffirms his kind of commitment to being Daredevil.
Oh, that's good.
So he heads back to New York to rebuild his superhero and legal careers.
Okay.
And that's the 4-issue miniseries called Daredevil Reborn. I pretty much that was entirely from Wikipedia what I just read.
Nice.
I only have so much time in a week. I didn't want to go into the issue by issue stuff. It's okay, the art's very good in it, but
It takes a lot of time.
I kind of just wanted to get to the arrival of Mark Waid and Paulo Rivera. So Matt returns with a new, more optimistic outlook on life, kind of like a fake it till you make it thing.
Oh, right, okay.
And just the tone of the comic is really, really changed.
Is it weird?
It's not weird, it's just more colourful.
Okay, yeah, I didn't expect that was weird, because Daredevil seems quite dark.
Yeah, I'll show you this week's issue if I reach over here, and I'm sure this makes a great podcast. But you'll be able to see just the colours and how different it looks.
Oh, is this now?
Yeah, this is the most recent issue.
Oh, that's weird,
It
okay.
looks so much different to what you've seen so far.
Yeah.
And that's Chris Samnee's art.
Oh, okay, I like it.
And this is kind of the direction Daredevil's been going in since 2011.
Okay. So still in this sort of upbeat
Yeah.
colours.
That doesn't mean everything's smiley, happy, everything's going to be okay now.
Oh, yeah, sure. No, that's never going to happen, but...
But when Stan Lee created Daredevil,
Yeah.
he, Daredevil had a... I say Stan Lee, it's Stan Lee and Kirby and
Yeah.
some other people I'm forgetting right now. And then Wally Wood came on issue 6. But he was much more of a swashbuckler.
Right.
And it was only when Frank Miller came on that he got that dark, gritty stuff.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a return to the swashbuckling
Oh, okay.
Daredevil.
That makes sense.
So he makes his big comeback to New York at the wedding of a mobster's daughter, where he saves her life from a kidnapping by my favourite supervillain ever.
Ever. Okay.
The Spot.
Yes! Isn't he a Spider-Man villain?
He is. He's in the cartoon.
Yes.
Yes.
And he goes through the little paws. Yeah. He's the best. He's great.
He's my favourite. Just the fact that you remember who the Spot, because he's only one episode.
Yeah.
1 or 2 episodes. But I just fell in love with you a little bit more. I might cut that bit out, I'm not sure.
Don't cut it out. Let everyone know how disgusting we are.
So and the Spot's kind of a cool villain for Daredevil because like Matt can't see, he can't, but he can sense like the slight shift in the air
Yeah.
where like a Spot portal shows up.
Yeah.
So he can kind of anticipate the Spot.
And he's there.
And the Spot's kind of a good metaphor for Daredevil's new like head first approach to life because to take him out, he kind of just like heads straight into one of the Spot's portals after him.
Oh, that's amazing.
So Matt and Foggy try to get back to work as lawyers.
Yeah.
And they're trying to help a shop owner named Jabrani seek justice from a crooked cop who beat him up. But the defence just turns it around, being like, well, don't you beat up people as Daredevil? Even though Matt is still officially not Daredevil.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Like he is, and he's doing Daredevil stuff, but he's still, like...
It's like a download.
Yeah, it's like an open secret. Like, he's not going to admit it. But,
He wasn't really admitting it before, though.
yeah, but he's not going to admit it. But everyone's like, aren't you Daredevil? But now he's just kind of like
No.
playing it off. But it's having an effect on his work.
Yeah.
Because every trial is just Daredevil, 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 Daredevil. And it's affecting his clients.
Oh, yeah, because he's a lawyer.
And the case gets put on hold until Matt and Foggy can refer Jabrani to a new lawyer.
Oh, okay.
While Matt is contemplating how a scrub lawyer could get the best of him, he's approached by the new assistant DA, Kirsten McDuffie,
Okay.
who tells him that as long as they practice law, anyone they go against is going to bring up Daredevil.
Yeah, pretty much.
And she suggests he reconsider his future as a trial lawyer.
Yeah, it's probably not the best job for him anymore.
But she also says that if Matt was Daredevil, or whoever was Daredevil, they should probably be wondering why no one else would take Jabrani's case. Because they were like the 12th lawyer that Jabrani got to.
Yeah, what's up with that guy?
Considering it's such a cakewalk, it's like an open and shut case, and no one would take it except for Daredevil. So Daredevil heads out into the night to try and find out what's up with Jabrani. But his radar picks up a man nearby with some sort of rocket launcher aimed at Daredevil.
Oh, God.
He fires it, and it's confetti.
Okay.
Because what's the best way to confuse someone with a radar sense? Could you imagine if you had radar sense and there's just confetti falling around you?
Yeah, it would just sound like sort of weird papery rain.
Yeah, it's
It would be
specific.
horrible.
It's specifically anti-radar chaff,
Oh, okay.
where it looks like confetti. And whilst he's like trying to figure out what's going on, he can't see the Captain America's shield is just about to hit him.
Oh, everyone's there.
No, it was Captain America that fired it.
Oh, okay.
Matt manages to catch the shield and easily knows from its weight what it is,
Yeah.
because it's just like this perfectly beautiful design.
I do forget that he's blind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, yeah, he can do all this cool stuff. And then I'm like, oh shit, yeah, he's blind.
Captain America tells him that he's under arrest for what happened during Shadowland, and Matt disagrees and takes off. They spar, and Matt manages to convince Cap that it wasn't him in control, and he gets a reprieve, but he's told the conversation isn't over.
Okay.
Kirsten McDuffie goes to visit Nelson and Murdoch and gives Foggy some new information on Jabrani's case.
Right, which is...
Jabrani has been hearing voices,
Okay.
which means that Foggy, in good conscience, can't refer him to any other lawyers.
Yeah.
Kirsten also gives Foggy his tie, which he left at her place last night.
Ooh.
Matt investigates why the other lawyers wouldn't take the case, and it turns out that they'd been threatened by mysterious ghost voices with no source.
Okay.
Like they'd get a phone call, they'd answer it, and it'd be like threatening messages, but then they'd do like caller ID, and then she'd like, there was no call.
Oh, that's really weird.
Matt goes to investigate at Jabrani's closed down electronics shop, and in the basement he finds dozens of copies of the villain Claw.
Okay.
Claw is a sound-based villain,
Yeah.
and he's made of sound. He's
Is
living.
he wearing shorts?
Well, no, because he's living sound.
He just looks like he's wearing shorts.
Yeah, he has like a shorts design on him.
Yeah.
It's a weird design.
It looks sort of like he's sunburned, except for his shorts pattern.
Well, like he's a Ken doll.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah,
too.
I see what you mean.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
he is living sound, and these copies of him, they're not him.
Okay.
They're what Daredevil calls sound shadows.
Okay, right.
Because Claw was sent into beamed into space by the Avengers.
Yeah.
A while ago.
Why?
Because he's a villain.
Okay, so they just sent him to space.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be able to get back. Of course not.
Because these sound shadows are made of sound, Daredevil can't accurately understand what they are.
Yeah.
They swarm on him and they use their abilities to incapacitate him, and they trap him in this weird metal contraption.
Right.
They reveal their plans that none of them are the real Claw, they're just sound shadows, and they're working to bring him back, and they need like something for him to form around,
Okay.
and that's what they're doing with Daredevil. They're trapping him in like a claw body for the Claw to take over.
Right.
And with the help of some mysterious benefactors, they've been working out of Jabrani's shop and using their voice powers to make Jabrani and any of the lawyers hear things. scaring them away from the shop and the case.
Yeah.
Matt breaks out, but it sets off a massive amount of feedback and eliminates his radar sense.
Oh no. Okay.
Like, effectively blinding him for real.
Is he okay?
As he stands in the middle of the road dodging cars, Claw's sound shadow is still out there.
Yeah.
Matt manages to fight it off and it starts to disintegrate. As it's kind of dying, it whispers, "Help me."
Oh, why?
Well,
What?
Matt can't hear anything because he's just been deafened.
Yeah.
He demands to know who his benefactors were.
Yeah.
And Claw tells him, but Matt can't hear it over the static of his own death.
Oh.
Matt meets with Foggy, and because Jabrani can't take in, and no one else will take Jabrani's case, they're trying to figure out what to do. They realise that the case is so simple, a first year law student could win it.
Yeah.
And they realise that they could coach Jabrani and he could represent himself.
Ooh.
The big day in court comes and Jabrani is nervous, but he does it and wins his case.
Ah.
Matt realises that while he can't represent people in court, because it'll always come back to Daredevil, he can coach those with no option but to represent themselves, and decides that is Nelson and Murdoch's new direction.
Oh, that's good. At least they didn't have to quit their jobs and everything.
So they go through a number of clients successfully, but the majority of people are just nuts who don't have a legal leg to stand on.
Yeah, they're not helpful.
Foggy tells Matt of one case he might be interested in. It's the wrongful termination of this kid, and Matt's like, well, no, because of this precedent and this precedent and this precedent.
Yeah.
And Foggy goes, he's blind.
Oh.
So Matt goes, okay, I'll meet with him. Matt meets with him, he's called Austin Cow, or Chow, I'm not entirely sure. It's C-A-O?
Ciao. Yeah, ciao.
There's no H, I don't know. And Austin has become depressed since losing his job. He tells about his story. He worked for a company named Midas Investments in language services.
Yeah.
He's blind, but he speaks 17 languages, and he has a knack of he can pinpoint your birth location by hearing your accent.
Oh, that's cool. Is he going to become a supervillain?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's a really rubbish supervillain power.
No, but he could use his sort of abilities.
It's not a superpower, it's just it's more like a party trick.
Oh, okay.
And he was showing off this trick to some friends by noticing some people walking past with Librarian.
Okay.
You know where Librarian is?
Yes.
Dr. Doom's place.
Yes.
And an hour later he was fired by his boss, Mr. Randall, who up until that point had treated him like a son.
Oh, what changed?
As Matt is listening to Austin's story, he hears someone over the road say, "On my mark,"
Oh.
which is generally a bad sign. He throws Austin to the floor as bullets come flying into the room. 6 armed mercenaries in tactical gear and night vision goggles charge in, and Matt defeats them by turning on the light.
That's amazing.
Matt takes Austin back to his apartment to keep him safe, while the CEO of Midas, a guy named Zachary, calls in someone named Bruiser
Okay.
to take out Daredevil. We don't see much of Bruiser, but when he gets the call, he's just beat up Ox from the Enforcers,
Yeah.
and we see him cross Ox's name off a list. And he says he's happy to take out Daredevil, because Daredevil is on his list as well.
Ooh, okay.
Matt helps Austin remember what the Librarians were talking about by recreating the office scene. Without sight, blind people rely more on other senses for memory cues.
Yeah.
So he gets Austin in a suit, gets him the tea he was drinking, some dress shoes, a tie.
Ah.
Austin starts to remember, and he recalls the Librarians talking about something mythological. Maybe Gorgon, or maybe Medusa, and then Matt realises what he was talking about. Hydra.
Ah. Okay.
Matt rushes out as Daredevil, leaving Austin safe in his house. Meanwhile, Foggy is at Kirsten's place, trying to convince her to go on a date with Matt.
Okay. Right.
Turns out he's dating her flatmate,
Oh, classic.
and he's not so sure that Matt is in the good place that he's trying to convince everyone that he is.
Yeah.
He thinks Matt's much more down than he's letting on.
He does him like he should be more of a mess than he is.
Kirsten agrees and gets Matt's number. Daredevil tracks down Mr. Randall to his boat and tells him that he knows he fired Austin to try and protect him,
Yeah.
and finds out the truth that this company, Midas Investments, they represent supervillain organisations.
Yeah.
Hydra, AIM, the Zodiac, Black Spectre, the Cartel. He calls it mega crime,
Yeah. Okay.
and these organisations were using Midas to funnel their subsidiaries through Latveria,
Oh.
making them untouchable in court.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when Bruiser attacks. This is Bruiser.
Oh, okay.
Bruiser is basically Brock Lesnar in a luchador mask.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in a lucha mask. I envisioned him as some sort of heavy guy, just like a guy in a suit.
Yeah, he can shift his centre of gravity wherever he wants.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
So he could put it all in his fist and just punch you, or make it so you can't knock him down.
Useful.
And he wants to be sponsored, but he's got these sponsorships on his kind of singlet.
Yeah.
He's not sponsored by them, but that's his goal. He wants to be sponsored by Mega Crime.
That's amazing.
But his list is that like he has this dream
Yeah.
of fighting the Hulk.
Okay.
So he's working
On your own.
he's working his way, like he has a dream to fight the Hulk, but he knows he's not there yet.
Yeah.
So he's got this list of superheroes and supervillains that he needs to take out to kind of prepare himself for fighting the Hulk.
Makes sense.
He knocks Daredevil off the ship and kidnaps Randall, taking him back to face the Megacrime representatives.
Okay.
So the 5 Megacrime organisations, and this is going to be important,
Okay.
are going to come up quite a bit.
I'll try and remember them.
They are AIM,
Okay.
Hydra,
Yes.
Agency Byzantine,
Okay.
that is the Secret Empire,
Right.
and that is Black Spectre.
Okay. I've seen the green guy, Hydra, before somewhere.
Well, Hydra are in the second Captain America film.
Is he in that costume?
No. Like, he isn't Hydra, he represents Hydra.
Oh, right, okay.
These aren't supervillains, these are henchmen.
Oh.
So the organisations
Yeah.
are AIM, Hydra, Agency Byzantine, Secret Empire, Black Spectre. They just work for them.
Oh, right. Okay. They look kind of Power Rangers-y.
Yeah, a little bit.
I like it.
Midas has been working on this deal for years, and now 3 people stand in the way.
Yeah.
Mr. Randall, Daredevil, and Austin, who has been kidnapped as well. As Bruiser is about to crush Austin's head, Matt shows up, having hitched a ride on the back of his speedboat.
On a speedboat. Classy.
Daredevil and Bruiser fight, while Zachary rushes off to kind of secure something known as the Omega Drive.
Which is...
We'll get there.
Okay, is it like a pen drive?
Yes, in a way.
Okay.
Hydra wants to just shoot both Daredevil and Bruiser, but Agency Byzantine stops him, reminding him of the agreement that no one acts unless they all act.
Yeah.
Because these are 5 opposing cartels.
Yeah.
They all have their own interests. Bruiser has Daredevil beat, but Matt is able to detect where his centre of gravity is. More importantly, where it isn't.
Oh, yeah, because then he
And-
can hit him there.
And he strikes him at his weakest point and breaks like his leg.
Oh, nice. Good work.
Daredevil gets Randall and Austin to safety as Zachary's making a break for it. He stops him and he grabs the Omega Drive, but he can't quite work out like his radar. He's like, what the hell is this? It looks really weird. Like his radar detects it as this unfathomable thing.
What is it?
It is this.
A 4.
It is specifically, it is Midas's leverage point. It is
Okay.
billions of gigabytes of confidential information
Right.
supplied by each of the 5 cartels.
So it's essentially a giant pen drive.
Yeah,
But like the president's pen drive level of importance.
yeah, worse really.
Okay.
Like imagine this thing that had every shady thing that like Google and Apple and
Oh god, yeah. That would not go
Yeah.
down well. I'm sure they've done a lot of shady things.
yeah, and then imagine if they were imagine how shady the stuff they've done that you don't realise is. Then imagine if they were actively supervillain organisations.
Okay.
These are their biggest secrets. All 5 of them.
Yeah.
None of them would volunteer that data until Midas could prove that they could create an unhackable, one-of-a-kind drive, and they did out of a salvaged piece of the Fantastic Four's costume.
I thought it was the 4.
Because the Fantastic Four's costume is made of unstable molecules.
Yeah.
That's why it stretches with Mr. Fantastic, it goes invisible, it catches on fire. It's made of unstable molecules. So the unstable molecules make a great hard drive.
Yeah, okay.
The cartel representatives show up and kill Zachary and try to kill Matt, but he says among them, no one of them can take the drive without starting a gang war between all 5.
Yeah.
But with Daredevil, they have someone to pin it on when they go back to their superiors. Matt leaves with Austin and Randall and hires Austin to Nelson and Murdoch.
Nice.
So Matt Murdock right now is the most dangerous man in the world
Nice.
because he has this Omega Drive.
Things are going well.
And then there's like a 2-part crossover with Spider-Man when the Black Cat
Okay.
is arrested for robbing a hologram projector from Horizon Labs, which is where Peter Parker was working at the time.
Yeah.
Peter knows that she's innocent because they were together that night when it was supposed to have been robbed.
Okay.
Well, he was robbed, but he knows she wasn't there. He turns to Matt for help, both as a lawyer and as Daredevil. They head to find the man who created it and see that he's been kidnapped, so they try to find him.
Sorry.
Black Cat joins them, having escaped custody, and there's an instant spark between Felicia and Matt,
Okay.
which Peter isn't too happy about.
Yeah.
They head to the inventor's apartment and find that he faked his own kidnapping using the hologram projector to make it look like Black Cat was responsible. He stole his own invention and he tried to sell it to Megacrime.
That's mean.
Daredevil detects poison in his bloodstream from the smell,
Ooh.
and now that his buyer has the device, they don't need any loose ends, so they try to kill him.
Yeah.
Spider-Man takes him to the hospital, while Daredevil and Black Cat go to get the hologram projector back from Megacrime. They sneak into the building using Daredevil's senses and Black Cat's burglar skills, flirting heavily all the way. They split up and Matt finds the room where the projector is. The scientists try and distract him by projecting all of his worst villains at him.
That's amazing.
But Matt can't see them due to his...
Yeah.
So-
You'd know that. If you knew who the villains were, you'd at least know that he was fucking blind.
So following the retrieval of the projector, Matt and Felicia go back to Matt's apartment to bone.
Nice.
When Matt gets a call from Foggy,
Okay.
who sounds really worried. The cemetery where Matt's dad is buried has sunk into the ground,
Oh.
and his dad's coffin has gone missing.
Oh my god, that's dark.
So-
Okay.
So Matt rushes down this hole to find his dad's and the rest of the missing coffins, where he finds them being carried en masse by moloids,
Ugh. They're gross.
and they're taking them to their master,
Which is...
the Mole Man.
Oh my god.
He is not the first Marvel supervillain, but kind of the first supervillain of the Marvel age, because he's in the first issue of Fantastic Four.
Ah. He's not the mole man I'm used
Hans Mole Man.
Yeah. My bae. I love him.
And Mole Man is just prying open caskets looking for something, and when he doesn't find it, he's just letting the bones drop to the floor.
Oh, come on.
Daredevil attacks him, just offended at the sheer disrespect that Mole Man is showing. But Mole Man manages to knock him out with his taser staff.
Yeah.
The Moloids throw Daredevil into what seems like a pit, but what Matt can't tell is that this pit has teeth.
Ugh. So
'Cause
there's
mo-
a mouth.
It's a maw.
A what?
A maw.
What's
It's
that?
like a giant mouth.
Okay. That's creepy as hell.
Because like Mole Man, aside from the Moloids, he has these big creatures,
Yeah.
big like Godzilla-sized creatures that live in Subterranea.
Alright.
Meanwhile, Black Cat has been hired by Black Spectre to steal the Omega Drive
Yeah.
from Matt.
Obviously.
Matt gets trapped in the maw of this giant monster, and he manages to wrap his grapple line around the tongue and just pull it till the tongue explodes,
Oh, that's gross.
which causes the monster to yell in pain and give Matt an escape route. Matt finds the Mole Man, who has found what he was looking for, who he was looking for. Back when he was a regular person, before he became the Mole Man, the only person that was ever nice to him was a colleague named Lorna, and she just recently died.
Oh no.
Matt asks Mole Man, what do you plan to do? What supervillain have you made a deal with to bring her back? Mephisto? Tyrannus? Who? And Mole Man reveals, I know she's dead, but she's the only person that was ever nice to me.
Oh, that's really sad.
They fight, and Mole Man is like, he's kind of like Yoda adept.
Oh.
They crash into the Diamonds of the Valley, which is just this kind of big underground cave with diamonds so bright they'd make a man blind, except both these men already are.
Yeah.
Mole Man asks Daredevil which of the coffins is his father's, and Matt says he doesn't know. Mole Man counters with, he's gone. He's not here in a wooden box, he's gone. And for the first time, really, Matt admits it out loud. Matt defeats Mole Man and takes a bunch of the diamonds as reparations for the families.
Yeah. Fair enough.
He also takes the body of Lorna back so she can be reinterred properly.
Oh.
Matt goes home to put the diamonds in his safe and finds a note from the Black Cat. She tells him she never planned on stealing it, she just wanted to check it was safe, which it isn't, and he needs to do something about it.
Good enough.
Black Spectre are going to hunt her down for betraying them, so she's going to lay low and suggest that Matt finds something better to do with the drive.
Yeah.
The ground of the cemetery is restored, and each of the headstones now has a shining diamond embedded in it.
Okay.
Because these diamonds, they glow light, so it looks really pretty.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Exactly. During the ceremony, Matt senses a Black Spectre goon nearby and goes off at them for daring to show up, but Foggy doesn't see anything, questioning that the pressure is getting to Matt.
Yeah.
So Matt gets sick of waiting around for Megacrime to make a move, so he crashes a meeting and tells them to hurry up. He says that because Black Spectre came to intimidate him, he's gonna get payback, and in return he got Mr. Fantastic to pull all of the Black Spectre files on the Omega Drive and release it to the public. As of right now, every Black Spectre member, except the one in that room, has been arrested, and Black Spectre is no more.
Oh, okay.
He tells them they better come up with a plan soon, because he's going to keep at it until they're done. As Daredevil leaves, the rest of Megacrime turn on the Black Spectre representative and kill him.
Oh, okay.
Matt has a meeting with Frank Castle,
Yeah.
the Punisher. He wants the Omega Drive to hit Megacrime where it hurts,
Yeah.
and he tries to forcibly take it, along with his new protege, a woman named Rachel Cole Alves.
Okay, who's she? Is she just a woman at this point?
Yeah, no, she's like Frank's protege now.
Oh, okay.
She lost her family.
Yeah.
On her wedding day, during the reception, there was a gang war that one of the mobsters just ran into a random room trying to look for somewhere safe, and it ended up with everyone at the wedding being killed
Oh,
except for her.
that's the whole thing.
And it's really heartbreaking because people keep calling her Rachel Cole,
Oh.
and she keeps going, I took my husband's name.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, that's really sad.
And as they're talking, Spider-Man crashes through the window. Mr. Fantastic asked Spider-Man to look into Daredevil's business, and on his way there, he was attacked by hand ninjas.
Yeah.
Because the hand want the Omega Drive.
Yeah. Of course they do.
And there's a really good line, because you know the Punisher, Punisher's deal.
Yeah, like he wants to punish people, he wants to get revenge and shit.
His family were killed, so he's dedicated his entire life to wiping out crime.
Yeah.
And that's his singular focus. There's a great bit where Spider-Man, like, he sees Punisher with Rachel Cole Alvis.
Yeah.
And his caption is, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. And then it's just a speech bubble that says, so, I've seen you've started dating again.
Oh, I love him so much.
The three vigilantes look outside to see hand ninjas scaling the building, and they form a plan. Spider-Man makes Punisher promise no killing.
Okay.
They take out the hand and Matt catches them up to speed with the Omega Drive and suggests they form a plan of attack on Mega Crime, draw them out into the open and destroy the Omega Drive in front of everyone.
Yes. Sounds like a good plan.
They split up to prepare, and Castle and Albers gear up while Daredevil heads to Spider-Man to whip up the device to destroy the drive. They meet back up and Frank Castle tries to talk Daredevil into using the drive against the cartels, and Daredevil hears Albers' heart race when Punisher mentions the Exchange, the organisation responsible for her family's death.
Okay.
He tells her while he's sorry for her loss, she needs to stick to the plan and keep a level head. They split up and spread the word, if you want the Omega Drive, Grand Central, 3 AM.
Right.
The time comes and Daredevil's group stands above the assembled cartels. Daredevil tells them that he's going to destroy the drive right in front of them, and as he's about to, Alvis shoots him in the back with a rubber bullet,
Oh.
causing him to fall to the floor in the middle of all the cartels, while she takes off with the drive.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Spider-Man rescues Matt from the horde trying to kill him, but the device to destroy the drive was broken in the melee. Daredevil and Spider-Man head to track down Alvis, and Matt finds her. He convinces her to hand over the drive, and as she does, she's shot in the back by Hydra.
Okay.
She has the vest on, so she's fine, and Punisher and Spider-Man show back up to take out the Hydra goons. Daredevil thanks them for their help so far, and he tells Spider-Man he's got a new plan.
Where is it?
So this is where Chris Samnee comes on.
Okay.
And in many ways, like I've said before, this is the Waid Samnee run more than anything. Their work together has really defined the book. Matt goes on a date with Kirsten,
Yeah.
where he makes her wear a blindfold so she can learn what life's like as a blind man,
that's
as a blind
sad.
woman. They've been spending a lot of time together, with her trying everything she can to prove he's Daredevil, and Matt trying his best not to reveal himself.
Okay.
Matt tells Kirsten of a time he helped take down a crooked professor, like to save Foggy's time at school, and they bond and they're getting quite close to each other. And by the end of the day, they're confronted by a Black Spectre goon
Okay.
who tells them that they're coming for him and everyone he loves in their quest for the Omega Drive.
Right.
Remember, Black Spectre was supposed to be wiped out.
Yeah, supposed to have been, but this is comics.
Meanwhile, Foggy heads into Matt's office to find some files that he needs, and he stumbles upon something in Matt's desk that shakes him to his very core.
Which is...
Daredevil heads to Times Square and he calls out the organisations. He gets into a big fight with the 4 remaining cartels, when suddenly Black Spectre swoop in, and in front of everyone they get away with the Omega Drive.
Hey, right.
Matt heads back to Avengers Mansion and meets up with Wolverine, Luke Cage, Iron Fist and Mockingbird, who are all changing out of Black Spectre costumes.
Okay.
So Matt faked the return of Black Spectre to make it look like the Omega Drive had been taken off the board once and for all.
But it hadn't.
It hadn't.
Okay, that's alright then.
Well, no, it has, but it's out of Matt's hands now. Like, S.H.I.E.L.D. have it.
Yeah, that's a safer place, surely.
Yeah. As he leaves Avengers Mansion, he suddenly disappears into thin air
Right.
and winds up in a soundproof box that cancels out his radar sense, except for 6 air holes they can kind of see through.
Yeah.
Through the air holes, he can sense certain flowers and aromas native to a specific part of Eastern Europe,
Yeah.
Lavaria.
Yep, thought as much.
He feels the sound of like big heavy boots coming down the hallway and expects to be confronted by Doctor Doom,
Who is it?
but it's actually one of Doom's subordinates, a guy named Chancellor Beltane.
Okay.
Daredevil's been kidnapped by Lavaria for ruining the deal to run all of Mega Crime's operations through their country.
Fair enough.
They pump a gas into Matt's chamber,
Oh, that's dark.
but it has no effect on him.
Okay, why?
They let Matt go, and as he escapes running through Lavaria, he realises what the gas did. One by one, slowly, his other senses are being taken away.
Oh, that's evil.
And they start to fade. He makes a break for the border, he grabs a horse, he's riding the horse, he attempts to jump over the fence and out of the country, and he does, and he lands there and he can't feel a thing, he can't see a thing, he can't hear a thing, but he knows he made it out of the country. And then you turn the page and you see that he didn't.
Oh, no. Oh, poor babe.
Matt wakes up in a Latvian bed, unaware of where he is or what's going on. His senses come back in very small flashes before disappearing again, enough to let him know where he is and what's likely to happen to him.
Where is he?
Latveria.
Where?
In like Castle Doom.
Okay.
Matt finds that without his other senses, his brain is trying to overcompensate again and strains to give him a very rudimentary sight.
Yeah.
His senses sputter from numb to hypersensitive as he makes his escape. He manages to climb to the top of Castle Doom and he destroys the signal blocker that's there, and his senses drop out completely, he passes out. Chancellor Beltane orders him searched, and the only thing he finds is an Avengers ID card,
Oh, okay.
which is beeping. As they go to shoot him, Iron Man shows up, having intercepted the signal.
Everyone's in this.
Iron Man whisks Matt out of area, noting that there's only one man who can save him now.
Who's it?
Well, because the thing in the gas is, it's not so much a gas as a nanite cloud.
Yeah.
So he has like a bunch of nanites in his brain,
Yeah.
shutting off his senses. So Iron Man calls in Giant Man,
Giant Man!
who is also the original Ant-Man,
And a giant!
Henry Pym. So Hank Pym shrinks down to ant size,
So he can go really big and really small?
Yeah.
That's cool.
so he can go into Matt's brain and take out the nanites.
I like that they think that's how it works.
That's how it works.
That's not...
He's a scientist.
He knows this.
Matt wakes up and is relieved to be among friends, but takes off when he's been told he's been missing for 9 days.
Okay.
He heads back to the office where Foggy immediately wants to talk to him. Foggy tells Matt that he was right about Matt's mental state and he's had enough of Matt lying to him. He produces what he found in Matt's office. He just dumps it out on the table.
What is it?
The remains of battling Jack Murdoch.
What?
Matt protests, saying it must be the work of some enemy. Why would he do this? But Foggy says all the evidence points to you having another mental break. Foggy says he can't help Matt if Matt doesn't want to get help, and tells him that he's suspended until he can sort himself out.
Oh my god.
So Foggy's visited by a man whose sister is on trial for murdering her boss.
Okay.
She was the nurse and physical therapist to a drug lord named Victor Herrera.
Yeah.
She was preparing his medicine behind his back in a locked room, and when she turned around, he was dead, missing all the blood from his body.
What? That takes a while.
But yet it was instantaneous.
That's weird.
No puncture wounds on him. All the blood instantly missing
That's
from his
really
body.
gross.
Foggy decides to take the case for free because all of his time around Matt has made him good at telling when someone's lying, and he can tell that this person isn't.
Okay. That's good.
Meanwhile, Matt is on a date with Kirsten and they're about to go into his apartment, but he hears a familiar heartbeat coming from within his flat.
He'll never, ever get laid.
He makes excuses and rushes in to find, sat on his bed, Miller Donovan.
No! She got out!
He asks how she's there and she's confused because as far as she's concerned, she lives there, she's his wife.
No!
Why wouldn't she be there?
No!
Matt comforts her and tells her to sleep before phoning Foggy for advice, who puts his anger aside to help Miller. Foggy says in response, can Daredevil look into this mystery death? So Daredevil heads off into the night. He chases Herrera's lawyer into an elevator, but when Matt forces himself inside, the lawyer is gone.
Oh, okay.
He gets a phone call from Foggy, who tells him that he's at the institution right now, and he's looking at Miller in a straitjacket, just like drugged up to her eyes.
So who is it?
Matt heads off to check who was in his apartment, and when he grabs for he's falling through the air, he grabs for his billy club, and his billy club's not there.
Oh.
It's missing. As Matt falls to the floor, he checks again and it is there. He starts to worry that he's really losing it now.
Yeah, it seems like he's in some weird, like, alternating universe.
He gets back home and not only is Miller not there, there's no sign of her ever being there.
Oh.
And no smell, the bed's made, everything.
Yeah, because he does everything by smell, doesn't he?
So Matt goes for a checkup with Hank Pym, and he tells him about the case and the mob boss who lost all of his blood mysteriously, and Matt realises who is behind everything.
Who?
And this isn't just the mob boss, it's all of Foggy's troubles as well, everything with Miller, everything with the billy club. Meanwhile, Foggy meets with Kirsten and he tells her that he's worried about Matt and something's wrong. But she's like, so you just told me, the assistant DA, that Daredevil is loose and mentally unstable. So she has to call in the police to take him down. So who do you think is behind everything that's been going wrong?
The Kingpin?
No.
It's not. It's always the Kingpin.
Who would be able to take Miller from the institution, drop her at Matt's, then get her back to the thing in very little time? Who would be able to make Matt's billy club go missing and then bring it back? Who would be able to suck all the blood out of someone without any puncture marks? So can you not think someone we've talked about in this episode? Who do you think it is? Who has the power to move things about, to teleport things?
Is it Spot?
It's the Spot.
Ah, yes. Why can he suck blood out of people?
He created tiny Spot portals
Oh,
in his blood vessels.
Okay.
So Matt goes to a meeting of the remaining crime families to tell them that the Spot's after them, and the Spot strikes and drags Matt in through one of his portals. And when Matt comes to, he notices something very strange. His head is here, but his body's over there.
Ah.
And there's like this collar. He's got this collar on him.
Yeah.
That has like a Spot portal underneath, like on it.
Yeah.
So Matt's head is detached from his body.
That's weird.
The Spot grabs Matt's head, holds him up Hamlet style, and says, "From now on, call me Coyote."
What? Okay. What is happening? That's so weird.
Coyote has been using his powers to make a great deal of money as a smuggler, and was hired to take out the mob bosses in New York.
Okay.
And you see clips of like people like smuggling stuff like underground, and then when like they smuggle underground, but then through a Spot portal, and then when the authorities raid that underground tunnel, they get there and there's a dead end, or like pregnant women like flying to another country, and then when they get to where they're going, they lift up the shirts and they've got Spot portals on their belly.
Oh, that's so weird.
But meanwhile, he's been running his own business in human trafficking, but only the bodies.
That's so weird.
He has a closet full of disembodied heads, just like Matt's, just stacked up on top of each other.
Oh, that's weird.
Like he grabs like a big load of meat from a bag and just like throws it in so they can eat it.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, like I said, like it's a generally happier Daredevil, but it goes dark.
Of course it does.
Meanwhile, Kirsten has gone to her bosses about Daredevil being unstable, but they think it's just a lover's quarrel.
Yeah.
So they don't listen, so she makes a call to someone else.
Right.
While Coyote is showing Matt's head this, Matt's body has escaped the handcuffs and finds his way to a giant machine, where hooked up in the middle of it is the Spot, the traditional Spot that I showed you a picture of a minute ago.
Yeah. In his costume and everything.
Yeah, well, that's not a costume.
What?
That's not a costume.
That's just what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the way it looks like.
Okay.
He turns it off and depowers the collars, returns everyone's bodies to their heads. Matt attaches a collar to Coyote, catching him in a feedback loop. All of Coyote's captives show up and they attack both Matt and Coyote, not seeing any difference between them.
Okay.
Matt manages to unhook the Spot from the machine, and the sparks scare off the captives. The Spot ports away, but he comes back in a deformed mess.
Oh, okay. Did he get caught in his own, like, holes?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And he chases both Daredevil and Coyote through the underground base. As they're running away, Coyote tells Daredevil that he was just a smuggler, that some mysterious benefactors, maybe the mysterious benefactors from before,
Maybe, yeah. Probably.
They wanted the Spot to work for them, and when he wouldn't, they hooked him up to the machine and put the man who would become Coyote through the same process and sent him after Daredevil.
Right.
Matt and Coyote run away from the approaching wall of Spot portals, and they get to the end and there's no exit, because why would a teleporter need a door?
Exactly.
They managed to lead Spot into the room full of collars that were once attached to the captives, and the feedback draws both Spot and Coyote into them before Coyote can tell Matt who hired him.
Nice.
Matt and the captives manage to construct a battering ram to escape the cave, and Matt returns to Foggy and is very angry that Foggy wouldn't believe him that he was being set up, and that he told Kristen he needed to be taken down. He hasn't spoken to Kirsten yet, but she's managed to get in contact with Spider-Man, who she's asked to make sure that Matt is okay. But what she doesn't know, that this isn't Peter Parker.
Who is it?
This is the Superior Spider-Man.
Okay.
I've told you about that before, haven't I?
Yes.
Do you remember who the Superior Spider-Man is?
No.
Otto Octavius.
Yes!
In the body of
Yeah!
Peter Parker. So Spider-Man attacks Matt in public, and Matt notices there's something off with the way he's speaking, the way he carries himself. They fight, but they're interrupted by...
Is it Stillman? Is that Stillman?
It's Stillman.
He's back.
Yeah, it's not the original Stillman, Wilbur Day. Wilbur Day was killed by the Punisher quite a while ago, unfortunately. It's
Yeah,
Stillman.
He doesn't have his cool, like, spike stilt.
They weren't spike stilts, they were just perspective.
Spike stilts.
He's upgraded and he's incorporated some Dr. Octopus designs into his suit.
Okay.
Meaning like he can stretch them or he can control them a bit better, and he can stretch his arms more.
Okay.
And it causes Matt to make a bunch of jokes about the supposedly deceased Dr. Octopus.
Of course.
He's like, Dr. Octopus, that fat tub of lard.
Oh
and
no.
Spider-Man's there like... Matt and Spider-Man take down Stiltman and come to a truce. Matt and Foggy reunite, but Matt can tell there's something wrong with him. He presses him, and Foggy reveals that he has cancer.
What?
Foggy has cancer.
No!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my babe.
Days later, after Foggy starts his test, Matt takes a swing around New York, but gets distracted when he hears cries for help.
Okay.
In a nearby restaurant, men in kind of like orange prison outfits are rampaging through. Matt fights them off but realises they carry a familiar smell. They've been blinded by the toxin that gave him his powers. And they have Daredevil powers.
Oh, okay.
Matt spends all night tracking them down and rounding them up, and nearly misses the appointment with Foggy in the morning. Just makes it, and they get the news that he has Ewing's sarcoma.
What's that?
It's a form of cancer.
Oh, is it bad?
If it hasn't spread, he has a 70% chance.
Okay.
If it has, it's closer to 10.
Oh no.
Matt heads to work to take his mind off everything's going on, but his office is attacked by Daredevil dogs.
Okay.
Because you don't start with human trials.
No, of course.
Someone's trying to make Daredevil again.
Yeah.
So Matt manages to knock them out with the fire alarm because they have advanced senses anyway. And
yeah.
Matt heads back to Foggy and is approached by a man who says he managed to escape from being turned into one of those experiments, and he can lead Matt straight to the people that have been tormenting him since Claw.
Okay.
Matt gets led to the warehouse, but he tells the man that he knows it's a trap, and the pacemaker in the man's heart to regulate his heartbeat explodes.
Ooh.
Matt crashes into the warehouse and is approached by someone. All of the men blinded before were experiments, but this man, the man wearing the robe of battling Jack Murdoch, is the result. He is Ikari,
Ah, he looks cool.
and he's going to kill Daredevil.
Yeah, he's gonna kill everyone.
Daredevil and Ikari fight through the city, and they're just so evenly matched. They both have the same powers. Daredevil has his staff, Ikari has his blades, and Matt's on the ropes for most of it. Matt escapes into a sporting goods shop, and he triggers the sprinklers to give him an advantage. He reaches for a baseball bat, and that's when Ikari says, "Try the red one."
Ah.
Ikari can see. He has all of Daredevil's powers, and he can see.
Oh god, he's unstoppable.
Ikari beats Daredevil within an inch of his life, but doesn't kill him. Instead, he wants him to know that he could kill him at any time.
That's even more scary.
Matt stumbled off into the night for the first time, the man with fear.
Oh my god.
Ikari reports back to his bosses. One of them is a woman, and the other is a man inside a giant metal coffin,
Okay.
and only his eyes are exposed. They're extremely happy with the progress so far, and they're going to launch the next phase of their plan soon. Matt heads back to the office and is startled to find someone there. Someone who was sent to interview as an assistant while Foggy was gone.
Okay.
Matt is on edge, and when the man reaches in his briefcase, Matt accuses him of reaching for something,
Yeah.
and kind of scares him off.
Oh.
The man runs away, and Matt apologises to him, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm on edge at the moment." And as the lift door closes, the man says, "Good, Ikari will be pleased to hear that."
Oh
And
shit.
it's one of the best panels.
Oh, that's
in the comic.
amazing.
I should have got this for the thing I forgot. The way the lettering's done is so sinister. The lettering is done behind the lift,
Yeah.
so you only see like half of the speech balloon. I'm going to try and find it now because it looks so cool. So here is the panel of what I just described, and tell me that this isn't the most sinister thing you've ever seen,
Okay.
with the speech bubble behind the lift.
Yeah, that's
I
terrifying.
love it so much.
It's kind of like shiny.
Yeah,
like
it
the crack
really
in
is.
the door.
Matt chases him down the stairs, but by the time he gets there, he's gone. He rushes to the hospital to check on Foggy and manages to save him from someone about to inject Foggy with something. Foggy tells Matt that he needs to think about this logically and just put it down on paper. So first there was Claw, and Claw draws a circle. And then there was Coyote, he draws a circle. And then there's Ikari, he draws a smaller circle.
Okay.
So you got a circle, in a circle, in a circle.
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Is he back?
Foggy realises who's behind it and passes Matt the piece of paper, which has the design of a bullseye on it. With Hank Pym's help, Matt manages to track down where his enemies are located and crashes through to find Lady Bullseye.
Yes.
Hyped upon adrenaline, he takes her down in seconds and turns to find Bullseye trapped in the upright metal coffin.
Wow.
As Ikari strikes behind Matt, he jumps onto the coffin and holds the billy club up to Bullseye's eye. If Ikari comes any closer, he'll press the button to open it and kill him. Bullseye says if he does that, all of his friends will die as he has agents tracking all of them. He reveals that Lady Bullseye brought him back from the dead with hand magic, but the damage done to him before his death was too much.
Yeah.
Because he's already had his back broken once, and now he had a sigh straight through his spine. So unable to move, he focused all of his energy, went into planning the ultimate revenge on Daredevil.
Nice.
Matt reveals that he has his own agents watching his friends, Giant Man, Iron Fist, Spider-Man and Black Widow.
Yeah.
Matt presses the button on his billy club, extending it outwards towards Ikari.
Ooh.
They fight up onto the next level above them, among the radioactive waste that was used to blind the experiment subjects.
Yeah.
The fight causes the floor to collapse, causing gallons of radioactive waste to fall on Bullseye, dripping right through the only open hole and into his eyes,
Oh no.
blinding him.
Never knows what it's like.
All 3 criminals are arrested, and Matt returns to Foggy victorious.
Oh, is Foggy okay though?
He's got cancer.
Yeah, but is he okay?
No. He's slowly, like, you see him, like, losing weight and getting sicker and losing his hair.
No.
Matt meets with a potential client in his office who greets him as Daredevil. Matt insists that he's not Daredevil, but this man says, I should know. I gave you the name. Who is it?
The kid.
It's the kid. It's Matt's childhood bully, Nate Hackett.
Ah.
And he's a lot happier to see Matt than he might see him.
Yeah.
But it turns out they have different memories of childhood, and there's a bit of a Liz Lemon's high school reunion thing going on.
Oh, right, okay.
Because Matt's like, no, you did this, this and this. And Nate's like, well, you used to go around going, my dad is the best fighter, and my dad could do this. And
Yeah,
like,
he seemed like a bit braggy.
yeah. But after Matt got hurt, everyone shunned Nate, and he fell into a bad way.
Oh,
He eventually joined the Sons of the Serpent,
okay.
who are a racist hate group.
They look kind of scary, yeah.
But he thought he was joining, like, the Stonecutters.
Oh,
He quit once the politics started showing up, but recently was arrested for a bunch of serpent crimes that took place way after he quit. The charges were dropped, but it cost him his job.
yeah.
He wants to sue the police, but any other lawyer might be in the Sons of the Serpent, because the way Sons of the Serpent work is, it could be your neighbour, it could be, like, the guy that works at the corner shop, it could be, like, anyone you see could be a Son of the Serpent.
You just don't know.
Matt takes his case and coaches him through the trial, and it's going surprisingly well, until the judge reveals himself to be a Son of the Serpent and shoots Nate
Oh,
right there in the
okay.
courtroom. The bailiff, also a son, tries to attack Matt, but Matt knocks him down. Police rush in hearing gunshots, and the bailiff quickly makes up a story that the gunman ran through the court and into another room, and Matt can't say what he saw
Yeah.
because he's blind. The policeman asks the bailiff to escort Matt to the toilet to clean up, while Nate is hanging on by a thread. Matt accosts the bailiff once they're alone, asking how many more are Sons of the Serpent, and is told that it's more than he could possibly imagine. He gets changed into Daredevil and stops a paramedic from smothering Nate. While Matt is explaining to a police officer what's going on, the judge sneaks out with another paramedic at gunpoint, and at the first opportunity, he shoves the gun in his hand and runs away shouting, "There's your shooter!"
Ah, crafty.
Matt saves this guy from a serpent cop who's about to shoot him, and he follows the sound of an ultrasonic hum to the basement where he finds a bomb.
Okay.
You can't do anything to stop it, but can use a walkie-talkie to tell everyone to get to the north of the building as soon as possible, because it's going to blow, which it does.
Okay. So saved everyone.
Yeah.
That's good.
The next day, Matt meets with Nate in the hospital and tells him they're going to work together to take down the Sons of the Serpent, and then heads back to the office to find Kirsten McDuffie, who he's not seen it, like she's not seen him since the whole Spider-Man thing.
Oh, right.
And she's taken over Foggy's workload, having quit her job in the DA's office.
Oh, okay.
But she's seen someone else now.
At least everything's going well.
The next day, Matt's having a conversation with Kirsten when he overhears an overwhelming amount of static coming from his office and runs in to find Ruak.
Is he like an alien?
He is an alien. He's an alien who's seeking asylum on Earth, and he heard an old half-joking speech that Matt gave in college about extraterrestrial rights.
Okay.
And there's someone hunting him down, and he knows Matt can put him in contact with the Avengers.
Yeah.
He says he has critical information about a threat looming over Earth, but he's pursued by someone trying to stop him. And that's when the pursuer shows up.
Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer.
Yes. It's a good picture.
As Ruak runs away, Surfer tries to blast him and almost hits one of Matt's employees.
Nice.
Matt charges Surfer out the window while changing into his Daredevil costume as he falls. But Silver Surfer convinces him to listen to his side of the story. Ruak's race are a race of sentient lies
Ooh.
and master manipulators who only reveal themselves when it is beneficial to them. Surfer can't detect Ruak because he doesn't see. Silver Surfer doesn't see. He senses auras and souls and stuff. So he's kind of blind in his own way. And as a sentient lie, like Ruak doesn't have like an aura or a soul. So they team up to track him down on the condition that Matt gets to drive the surfboard.
Yeah.
Matt takes the long way to Stark Tower because he's like having fun on the surfboard going all over the place.
Good times.
Because if Ruak's goal is the Avengers, the next place you'd go is Stark Tower.
Yeah, obviously.
They take him down, but not before Ruak whispers in Matt's ears, "She will never love you."
Oh, That's not nice.
What did I say Ruach is?
An alien.
But what is his race? What do they do?
Fly.
Days later, it's a scorching summer day, and a historic case that Matt isn't involved in is coming to a close. A white woman with a history of bigotry shot a black teenager in her building.
Okay.
Who turned out to be there to tutor a neighbour's kid. It's quite close to the bone.
Yeah.
This was obviously inspired by Trayvon Martin.
Mm.
And she's found not guilty because there isn't enough evidence to overcome reasonable doubt. Following the announcement, the prosecution lawyer shocks everyone by revealing the names of the jurors on national TV.
Ooh.
But Matt could tell there was and the man speaking was not the prosecution lawyer.
Oh, okay. Right.
Someone hijacked the broadcast for their own ends. Matt heads down to the courthouse where a riot's broken out and it's far too much for Daredevil to contain. Matt asks Hank Pym to see if he can get Thor to come make it rain. Make it rain. But Thor's off-world. Instead, Hank sends a giant flying ant into the atmosphere to release an army of smaller ants to seed the clouds and make it rain, calming everyone down. Matt rescues the prosecutor and crashes into the room where the jurors are. One of the jurors tells Matt that he's not on the list, but there's a man who's not in the room on there called John Powers, aka the Jester.
Cool. Okay.
Matt makes his way to Jester's apartment, and on the other side of the door that Matt's about to walk into, Foggy Nelson is there, hanged with a suicide note taped to a fallen chair.
No. No.
You okay?
Is he dead?
Matt walks into the apartment and he doesn't see Foggy hanged. He just sees the outline and smell of a detailed mannequin. He smells cyanide on the note and avoids it. And Jester's watching and he's really angry that this elaborate ruse has
He's
failed.
figured out his plans so quickly.
But he's watching on cameras alongside the Sons of the Serpent, who hired the Jester to instigate the riot. Matt is attacked by Serpent cops and takes them out fairly quickly. He heads back to the office where the Jester impersonates the mayor on TV and rescinds all handgun regulations, telling people to take up arms in their own protection, take up arms for their own protection and await for further orders.
Okay.
So New York is on edge. Matt and Foggy do some research on the Sons of the Serpent and discover their origin is tied to a mystic text called the Darkhold.
Okay, right.
So Matt has to find out more from Doctor Strange, who tells him where he should go to find the people that can help him. He heads to Stone Hills, Kentucky.
Okay, right. Why?
Because that's where the people he needs to meet are. But when he gets there, he's in the middle of a lynch mob.
Ooh.
He gets ahead of the mob and he stands in front of the angry crowd, defending the pursued people, shouting, "These people do not deserve persecution. They're not monsters." Only he doesn't know that behind him is...
Who's that?
That is Satana and Unkantu, the living mummy.
Ah, yeah.
So he's there going, "They're not monsters."
They are monsters.
And it's the daughter of the devil and the mummy. They're members of the Legion of Monsters.
Okay.
Alongside their teammates, Werewolf by Night,
Okay.
Frankenstein,
Okay.
and the zombie, Simon Garth.
Nice.
The Legion of Monsters show up to rescue them, and in the ensuing chaos, Matt is shot in the shoulder.
Oh, again.
The Legion of Monsters get Matt away, and with the help of Satana's magic, heal him up. Werewolf by Night introduces himself in his human form.
Okay.
Jack Russell.
That's amazing! No fucking way! Why? Why? Oh, they took it. They took their choice. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm so proud of them. Oh, thanks, Mark. That's beautiful.
You okay?
That's amazing. Oh, it was right there.
Slam dunk.
That's amazing.
Matt asks about the Darkhold and tells him why he needs it, and Jack Russell tells him what it is. It's the first book.
Okay.
It contains the magics that created the first zombies, vampires, werewolves and all of the monsters.
Yeah.
They have the book, but it's missing several vital pages, which is why they're in Kentucky, on the trail of a man named Lucian Sinclair.
Does he have the pages?
Yes. He's a son of the Serpent Sorcerer.
Okay.
Because if they're sons of the Serpent, which serpent do you think they're the sons of?
I don't know.
The Serpent in the garden.
Oh, okay. The serpent. I thought there was like a whole range of them.
They've tried assaulting his cabin, but it has strong magic wards, and when you get up to it, the sights and sounds of the passageway just would drive any man to madness if you could see it.
Yeah, if you can see it.
So Matt heads to the cabin and he has to strive through toils and torments on his way to the front door. And it's hard, but he makes it there. And he just thanks God that he's blind.
It does come in handy for him a lot.
He makes his way to Sinclair's lair and sets fire to the Darkhold pages
Okay.
and the cabin in the process. The Legion of Monsters are angry that the Daredevil set fire to the pages, but at least Sinclair has been neutralised. What they don't know is that Matt has a bunch of the pages rolled up in the holster of his billy club.
Oh, crafty.
Matt meets with Doctor Strange, who tells him that there's a name written on every page, one he's hesitant to say out loud, lest it summon this demon. Matt asks Doctor Strange if these pages could heal Foggy, and Strange says, not in any way you'd want.
Yeah.
Matt finally admits to Kirsten that he is Daredevil, because it's time to get serious, and he needs her help with the next part of his plan.
I'm surprised you didn't know already.
No, she does, but Matt's like, they've been flirting back and forth. But Matt says, like, we're not playing anymore, this is important, I need your help. With the help of Nate Hackett, Daredevil whips up a microphone that will hijack into any active receiver.
Yeah.
Matt speaks to all of New York, telling them what the Sons of the Serpent are up to, and if they don't hand the Jester over to the police, he's going to burn the Darkhold. To prove he has it, he has Kirsten read the name, which catches the Serpent's attention all over the city. While Daredevil swings off, Kirsten gets on the microphone and tells the city that it shouldn't rest on Daredevil, and New York citizens should rise up against the Sons of the Serpent. Daredevil makes sure the Jester got handed over, but the Serpents are looking for Kristen, and they take a shot from a helicopter, but Nate manages to push out of the way, and they rush inside. Matt takes out the helicopter and meets up with Kirsten, who's on the phone to the hospital. Something's wrong with Foggy.
Is he dying?
Matt rushes to the hospital and finds that Foggy's fine, but he's being looked after by a Serpent doctor.
Okay.
The Serpents want Daredevil to listen to their proposal. Mr. Ogilvy, who is one of the most prominent leaders in the organisation, his son Donald has been charged with a Serpent crime. It was a Serpent crime, but he wasn't there when it happened.
Yeah.
And Ogilvy can't testify without implicating the Serpents, so they want Matt to defend him. And if he doesn't, they have enough evidence to finally prove that he is Daredevil.
Seems about right.
Like, you know, the Murdoch papers that didn't exist.
Oh, right, yeah.
They've made their own Murdoch papers.
Right, yep.
So Matt ponders on what to do and he asks Elektra for advice. She tells him, like, she says, why do I never lose? And it's because, like, she says, like, what way would I attack you from, the left or the right?
Yeah.
And Matt says, neither. You'd attack me from a way I hadn't thought of.
Ooh.
And advises Matt to do the same. At the trial, Matt cedes lead counsel to Kirsten, who immediately calls her first witness, Matt Murdock.
Oh, okay.
She asks Matt to state his name for the court, and he says, my name is Daredevil.
Ah!
He's taken the Serpent's trump card away from them, but in the process, revealed that he is Daredevil to the world.
And everyone knows.
Yeah, for good this time. As Matt recounts how and why he is Daredevil, Ogilvy orders a strike team on the courthouse. Matt takes out the Serpents, but one of them grabs Kirsten as a hostage. However, Kirsten is no hostage, and she frees herself, and Matt cleans up the rest of the Serpents.
Okay.
The next day, Matt is a hero, but he's also disbarred from practicing law in the state of New York. Kirsten meets him and reminds him that it's next to impossible for a disbarred lawyer to get a job in any other state, unless there's a state he's already licensed in.
Yeah.
And Matt lived in San Francisco several years ago.
He can be back.
Kirsten points out there's great doctors in San Francisco for Foggy. They kiss on the rooftop as Matt decides to pack everything in and move to the opposite coast.
Okay.
So Matt makes his way to San Francisco, and we're wrapping up the show here because I want to get vaguer with some of the more recent stuff when we start talking about the show.
So people will read it.
Yeah, because I've talked to you about this like off mic, but like pretty much everything I read is issue for issue over like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But as we get to the current volume of Daredevil, I'm going to go over what happened, but in a very broad way. I'm covering about 15 issues in 2 paragraphs here.
Okay.
So Matt makes his way to San Francisco and quickly establishes a working relationship with the mayor's office and the SFPD. We have some trouble getting adjusted to superheroing in a new city.
He's used to New York.
As far as the world is aware, Foggy is dead, but they just faked his death to keep Matt's enemies off his back.
Yeah.
While in San Francisco, Matt must deal with a former vigilante gone mad named the Shroud.
Oh, yes.
As well as the re-emergence of the Owl. During the original Sin event, do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where everyone's secrets come out. Matt is set on a path that leads him to discover why his mother left.
Okay, why?
Following Matt's birth, she suffered from postpartum depression.
Oh.
And left the family for fear of what she might do to Matt.
Oh, no, that's really sad.
Because Matt has this like flash of his father with like a bloody knuckle stood over his mother.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, my dad beat my mum.
Yeah.
But then it turns out like he meets up with his mum and he kind of saves her from some trouble she's going through, and it turns out that Matt's dad actually had to like forcibly get his mum away from him as a baby.
Oh right, okay.
Because when I read that, I was like, if they turned Battling Jack Murdoch into an abuser, I'm going to be so angry. But it was a really... It might sound crosser than it is when I describe it,
Yeah.
but it's a really, really touching mother and son story.
Father and son.
Well, it's more about the mum and the mum coming to
Oh
terms with being
right,
a mother.
okay.
Following this, the Purple Man returns. The Purple Man.
Oh yes.
And he has powers of suggestion.
Yeah.
That's David Tennant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And over the years of him being a giant ass and essentially convincing women to sleep with him through his powers, he's had lots of children.
Yep.
Who now all
There we
have
go.
his power.
Now they're gonna do the same.
So Matt has to deal with them, but it leads Matt to confront his own depression.
Yeah.
And there's some really touching issues about, like, it's the closest I've seen a superhero comic really tackle with depression in a real way.
Oh, that's nice.
And as of right now, there's some stuff going on with the Shroud being like the new kingpin of San Francisco. The Owl has some weird powers to do with cameras I don't quite understand yet. The Owl's daughter's shown up, and Daredevil has ditched the mask.
Oh, so he's okay with people knowing who he is now?
Yeah, he announced it at a trial.
Well, yeah, but like, you'd think he'd like keep it for like the sake of it.
No, well, it's in this latest issue that he's done this, because he's writing a book, like a memoir about being Daredevil,
Yeah.
because Kirsten's dad is a publisher.
Oh, right, okay. Are they still together?
Yeah.
Ah.
And he's talking to him like, why are you still wearing the mask if everyone knows you're Daredevil? And Matt's like, you're right. So I'll show you what Matt's new costume is. It's really obnoxious. Pretty great.
Oh my fucking Christ.
I hate that haircut so much.
I hate that. That's me.
That's me. That is what I would do. So
Oh wow.
that is where we are right now. That is issue 14. Just came out today.
Okay.
And it's only got a few more months before Waid and Samnee are off the book
Oh.
for newer projects. That's Daredevil.
I like Daredevil a lot.
5 weeks. 5 weeks of Daredevil.
Doesn't feel like it.
So, you like Daredevil a lot?
Yeah.
I don't really know what else we can say now. Like, we've said pretty much everything anyone can say. Now is the time
After pitting against everyone else.
for our regular segment.
The regular that's not happened for a month.
That I call...
And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away.
I probably should have saved that for Spider-Man, because it's a Spider-Man song.
It is a Spider-Man song.
Okay, so where does Daredevil go on the list? Because it's been 5 weeks,
Yeah.
we might have some new listeners. I'm hoping we got that Warlock Ajax bump
Hopefully.
when I was on last week. I'm gonna go. The concept is it's similar to the Warlock Ajax Every Story Ever, which I cribbed lovingly with their permission. It is every superhero we cover, we're putting on a list.
Of my favourite to least favourite.
Yeah, to find out who Helena's favourite superhero is.
Yeah.
So at number 11 we have The Flash,
Barry Allen.
Barry Allen.
Fucking Barry.
Number 10 we have Captain Marvel, Marvel.
Yeah.
Number 9 we have the Hulk, Bruce Banner.
I like the whole club.
Number 8 we have Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. Number 7 we have the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I watched Guardians.
Number 6 we have Loki.
Yes.
Number 5 is Shazam, Billy Batson.
Oh, I love Shazam. I forget about Shazam.
Number 4 are the Inhumans. Number 3 is Kid Flash, Bart Allen. Number 2 is Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. And number 1 is
My boy Wally.
Wally West, The Flash. Where does Daredevil go on this list?
Oh god. High.
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 Higher than Shazam?
I think maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Higher than the Inhumans?
I really like it. Either 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
So, do you like him more than the Inhumans?
I think so.
I think you do.
I really like him.
Do you like him more than Kid Flash?
Quite possibly. I like Kid Flash a lot though. Yeah, 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
So,
I really like him.
So below Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, above Kid Flash, Bart Allen,
No base.
is Matt Murdock,
I
the
like
man
him.
without fear, Daredevil.
Yeah, like, not just him, like, his stories and everything as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that is Daredevil.
I enjoy Daredevil.
I feel like we're going to experience a sense of loss Like
It's gone.
When you finish a really good book, you're like, I don't have any more time with these characters.
And you cry.
Yeah. Well, like the last episode of Buffy. So that is our episode. Journey into Misery is on iTunes,
It is.
where you can subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review, leave some stars. All that helps people find the show. As you heard at the start, if you leave a review, we will read it at the start of the episode.
Get named.
Get named and thanked.
There's looks really nice ones. There's never been anything mean, I'm sorry.
Patreon.com/King Impulse is where you can donate money to the show. Every dollar helps. One thing I'm not sure how many people are aware that we're doing the reviews now.
Oh yeah, that's like a thing.
Yeah, so we're doing weekly comics reviews where I'm doing a few, but mostly I'm trying to get Helena to review comics.
Yeah,
So today you reviewed Ultra Comics #1,
I did.
which was a bit of a
mindfuck.
a bit of a struggle at times, but it's a good.
I
comic.
liked it.
So yeah, our next goal for the Patreon is $120, so $20 away, and we will watch The Spirit,
No.
the worst horror movie of all time.
I've heard bad things about it, but I'm still less excited for how to look.
What else have we got? I was feeling like there's more, but there's just other 4 things, isn't there?
I think so.
It's iTunes, Patreon, kingimpulse.com, which has all the previous episodes.
It's on another thing, but I can't remember the name of it. Stitcher?
Yes, it's on Stitcher as well, or you can download it straight from Libsyn. If you go to libsyn.journey.
If you're not an Apple person or you
Yes.
don't like iTunes, because iTunes is a piece of shit.
It is a bit of a piece of shit. So yeah, kingimpulse.com, where we have the picture galleries, all the previous episodes. My other podcast, Have a Nice Day, is back for a few weeks. We'll see how long it lasts.
Back for a few weeks. Is it next week as well then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We are going to be at Chikara UK
Oh yeah?
on Friday the 3rd. I think we'll have one more
Third
episode.
and fourth.
Yeah, we should have one more episode before we get to that, yeah. But if you're at Chikara, I'm going to be at all of them.
I'll be at 2.
So if you're at Wolverhampton, Cardiff or London, please say hi. I am Kieran Shiak. I am at King Impulse on Twitter.
I'm Helena Hart and I hate you on Twitter.
This has been a long one.
Not a journey into misery.
Not a journey into misery. Pocky still has cancer.
I'm sad about that. Maybe then.
We'll see you next week for Spider-Woman.
Yes! Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm excited.